Hey, it's Peter. Just doing a quick run through of where things are at in our WDS, North German Plain 85, through the Lüneburger Heide forest scenario here. It's scenario 10, I believe, of the overall. Let me go look at that real quick. Hold on a second. Actually, it's scenario 12. Yeah, Sela, which then has the title through the etc. Um, so just to kind of get you up to date here, let me take the objective markers off just real quick. The only units that have survived here, they've been taking a pounding the whole darn game, unfortunately, and oddly enough, fortunately, and the only reason I say that is that they've held up probably a good brigade's worth of enemy, if not more, in their heroic actions here in Weidhausen. We very well could pull up the um, the first armored UK if we wanted. We could pull up the Dutch as well. We do the main defense units in the area for West Germany have been. Let me turn the org thing on. This organization here, the Third Panzer Division in the north here, has been doing pretty well holding off this area of the phase line, or the phase lane, really overall. This is the 9th Panzer Layer Brigade of the 3rd Panzer Division. Up here we have the two Panzerhof companies. This is technically the recon units, armored recon or armored cav recon. Predominantly, let's see what we got here in Luke's, and they also have like a contingency of Leopard 1, but it's a very small. These are very small mobile units for reconnaissance. We've predominantly been letting them do their business up here. They didn't get unfrozen until about the 8th or 9th turn, but they haven't found anything near Uelzen of note. One thing that happened in turn 10 is that we pulled up just to bring up some units into this area for visual sake. We didn't want to get them too entangled, but unfortunately they ran into a minefield here near Hankenspuddle. I knew they'd probably run into something. That was not the one thing I was thinking they would run into, but oh well, such is life. There wasn't too much damage, but we'll recover from that. We unfortunately don't have any engineer units up in the front lines here, and I don't think there's any other units that are capable of mine clearing, so we're probably just going to have to wing it at that point. But what it did prove was that there's no enemy here. An air reconnaissance mission we did with I think it was, I can't remember if it was Jaguars or Tornadoes, did find some enemy units coming along this Bodenteich to Sprachensail line here, this road. So there are, I think this is where they've been kind of feeding in, and I think in some cases they've even been going across the forest. Like for example, this combination of the 8th Motor Rifle, these armored battalions and so forth, and this rifle battalion, they snuck through. I think they came through here and went all the way up here. So, but we've been able to hold them back with a pretty significant amount of Leopard 2s up here from the 33rd Panzer Brigade of the 11th Panzer Grenadier Division. So all the West Germans have been doing pretty well. There's a significant containment going on here, successful or otherwise. I'll leave that to the crowd here, the players, APOC and Loss. I think I've been trying to do as close as I can to the original orders and plans. These guys are all entrenched, at least at this point. They are in improved positions, as you can see. So they do have good defensive positions here. We got a pretty solid center here. I feel like we're pretty solid here. I feel like we're pretty solid here. I'd like to recover as much as we can from here. We might have to just pull out and then pull in these units around. I'm a little hesitant to move these guys too close here. We might move at least one of them, maybe closer. It's a very difficult area to get recon in without potentially getting trapped. And I don't want to trap any more than, unfortunately, these guys have been trapped a bit throughout. We got a small force down here. Let me see. These are elements of the 33rd Panzer Brigade, as well as Panzerjäger from the also from the 33rd Panzer. These, I don't know what we should do here necessarily. I don't know if we should maybe kind of come at them from very many several angles. We could if we wanted to, but I just feel like this force is going to be too heavy to significantly do any lasting damage to without losing or getting more elements pinned down pretty considerably. I'll leave that decision to everybody as to whether or not y'all want me to kind of pull this containment back. These guys are pretty heavily entrenched. We did have two airstrikes. We had an airstrike that was successful up here, and I think that actually allowed us, that kind of pushed them. We have a disruption on one of the brigades, or excuse me, battalions here, or companies. What is this level? Yeah. What else did I want to point out? Oh, we had one airstrike that had gone in here, and we unfortunately lost that aircraft. We also had so this was one air recon mission was here, and they saw 2 units. I do have a picture of that, and I'll post it along with this video. Down here we had another successful quotation mark recon, but there were no units. There were no enemy units down here. So again, trying to flush out where they're concentrating. I mean, everything is pointing to Bowden, Tyke, and I don't even think if they've gone through here, they've slipped through already, and they're in this area. We're out of recon missions now, as far as air recon. Back yonder, this Pioneer company had run into Soviet special forces in this area. I don't really know what they're up to other than being kind of a pain in the side there, or the rear, more so. So we're, this is turn 10 of 13. I think that the orders that have been provided have been good, have been solid. Whether I've been able to enact them, there are obviously some game connotations to what's being asked for, but I feel like I've tried to interpret everything with success, as far as just plain getting it into the system as you kind of desired. But so the question remains at this point whether or not we should kind of reconsolidate here and pull them back, or be a thorn in the side for the next 2 or 3 rounds, just to kind of get to the end of the scenario. You don't want to play. You got to kind of think of these things in the sense of, okay, then what, right? Like, even if we get through this whole thing and are successful, and let's go look at our victory level right now. Yeah, it's still a major defeat. This is, well, there's a pretty good amount of infantry loss, a reasonable amount of vehicles, but we're actually, we're keeping up with them pretty well, considering. I think we've held them back pretty well, pretty successfully. What to do next? I honestly I definitely would like some input on what you'd like to do. I hope I've laid out all the intel as much as I can here. I do need to kind of get these guys out of this minefield. My assumption is I'll probably just come this way, but I don't know. Need to watch out. I might just pull them back. Probably easiest thing to do at that point. Pull them back and bring them down, maybe to Wissendorf. But I don't know. Maybe even bring them through the city and back up here. And I mean, we could probably do some. We could probably give them a little bit of hurting, but I just don't. I have a feeling that we might get ourselves stuck if I compress this claw around them, if you will, too much more. So ideas are very welcome, and I think everybody's done very well so far in the match. I hope that this information helped. I'll post a top level full zoomed out image without the objectives on there. I think it helps a little bit to see things better when the objectives are turned off. Just for giggles, let me put those back on just so you see them. Main ones are here. I mean, where they're headed, where they're trying to get to is up here in Hoya and Nienberg, as well as there's an exit. They get extra victory points if they can get elements off, units off of the map there on that exit hex. So hopefully that helped. Let me turn this objectives back off, and I'll take a screenshot and get it into a turn slide for you, slide deck, and we'll go from there. We're almost done with this, and I do have another one that I've been eyeing that has some US units as well, and it looks like a good candidate. I feel like these 12 or 13 turn scenarios are just about perfect, especially for just kind of learning it and letting yourself make mistakes and possibly even redoing courses of action if something goes horrifically wrong. So far, I don't think we've had any horror shows. Less than perfect here, running into a minefield, of course, but such is combat life, unfortunately. I will leave it at that. Talk to y'all soon.